Today, we're going to be recreating one of the most successful bass lures out there. We'll start off with some olive thread and grab some chartreuse loco foam. Cut it out into a fin-like shape, and then grab some olive dubbing. Create a small dubbing noodle, just enough to cover our hook shank. This will help prevent the foam from spinning around the hook. Once complete, secure your foam fin to the hook shank, starting with a loose securing wrap and wrapping tighter and tighter as you go. With this complete, we'll create a dubbing loop, wrapping back towards our tail. Grab some more dubbing, sliding it into our dubbing loop, followed by some rabbit fur. It should look something like this. Next, we'll spin it up and brush it out to give it a nice, buggy look. Once complete, brush everything backwards and begin wrapping it forward in close touching spirals, continuing to do so until you reach your thread. At which point, we'll secure, taking thread wraps both in front as well as behind our dubbing loop, and snipping the excess free. With this complete, we'll whip finish to secure everything in place, snipping your thread free once complete, and grab some chenille, much like chenille, but just squishier, as well as some estaz. Both of these are in olive. Additionally, we'll grab some 30-pound braid, create a small loop, and string it through our hook eye. Wrap the tag ends through the initial loop, pulling it tight to secure in place. Next, we'll reattach our thread, snap the excess free, and secure our chenille and estaz to the hook shank by stripping a few fibers free, stringing it through the hook eye, and securing it tightly with your thread. Start by securing the tag ends, securing the two materials facing the opposite direction, folding it over, and resecuring facing forward. This will help ensure that everything's secured tightly. Once complete, you can whip finish once again and snip your thread free. Next, we'll fold our two materials over, grab the braided line along with the chenille, and begin to braid the estaz over the two, doing so in open spirals and wrapping about 4 inches up the chenille. This will help add some durability and blend the two materials. Once complete, pinch the materials tightly, snip the excess free, and for now we'll hold the tag ends together using some UV resin. Fix in place with a UV light, and set the tail to the side. Next, we'll grab a heavy jig hook and resecure some heavier olive thread. Snip the excess free, and continue laying down a thread base for our next steps. Next, we'll grab some tungsten dumbbell eyes, securing it tightly to our hook shank by taking several thread wraps in a diagonal pattern, as well as wrapping underneath and to either side of our dumbbell eyes. You can help further secure it by adding some super glue, both to the eyes as well as to the hook shank. Continue wrapping your thread till we reach the bend of the hook, and measure your tail to length. We'll strip away some of the excess, exposing the braided lines underneath, and secure them tightly with the tail facing towards our eyes. Once tightly secured, we'll fold everything over and resecure it facing in the opposite direction. This will help ensure that our tail can't be pulled free. With this complete, we'll wrap our thread forward and create another dubbing loop. Once again, stripping away some rabbit fur and grabbing some olive ice dubbing. Blend the two together, creating a custom dubbing blend, and grab some olive silicone legs. We'll add this to our dubbing mix and snip it to length. With the dubbing complete, we'll slide it into our dubbing loop, making sure it's evenly spaced, and spin everything up tightly so nothing can come loose. And with that complete, brush it out to give it a nice, buggy look. Next, wrap your thread towards the head of the fly, and begin to wrap your dubbing noodle forward, stopping just short of our dumbbell eyes. Secure with your thread, and snip the excess free. We'll then create another dubbing loop, this time inserting some olive laser dubbing. Ensure that everything's evenly spaced as before, spin it up, brush it out, and wrap it in close touching spirals until we reach our thread. At which point we'll secure, taking thread wraps both in front as well as behind, and snipping the excess free. Whip finish to hold everything in place, snip your thread free, and brush everything out to give it a nice, buggy look. And this is my interpretation of a bass Ned rig. It has a flexible tail that'll help it float upright in the water column, and the dumbbell eyes will help give the flexible tail plenty of action. If you'd like to win this fly, comment #flies in the comments below. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.